Breaking news. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo spotted together in Paris during Fashion Week. The full story. Paris. The air was cool but charged. The kind of early spring day when the Seine glistens like molten gold and the city's narrow streets feel like they're hiding secrets. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in the world of your favorite celebrities. No one could have guessed the secret Paris was about to reveal. One that would ignite social media across continents and send fans into an emotional freefall. The arrival that stopped Fashion Week. It started innocently enough. Outside the Grand Palais, the press pit was buzzing. Photographers were adjusting lenses, influencers were posing for street-style shots, and brand PR staff were hurrying VIP guests through the cordoned walkway. At exactly 2:17 p.m., a sleek black Mercedes glided to the curb. The door opened slowly, and there he was, Lee Min-ho. Even in a crowd of couture and celebrity, he stood out instantly. Towering height, perfectly tailored navy trench that fell just above polished boots, a black cashmere turtleneck framing his chiseled jawline. He removed his sunglasses for just a moment, enough for flashes to catch the warmth in his eyes. Gasps rippled through the crowd, but before the noise could settle, another black vehicle rolled to a stop. The second door opened. Song Hye Kyo. Grace in motion, her silk champagne skirt catching the breeze, the soft Parisian wave in her hair making her look like she had just stepped off the cover of Vogue. She carried a small structured cream handbag, minimal makeup that allowed her natural glow to take center stage. And then, the collective heartbeat of every fan skipped. She waited. Lee Min-ho turned, stepped forward, and together, they walked. The walk heard around the world. They didn't rush. They didn't pretend not to notice the dozens of cameras. Instead, they matched each other's pace perfectly. A slow, confident stride into the venue. At one point, as they reached the base of the marble stairs, Song Hye Kyo's heel caught momentarily. Without missing a beat, Lee Min-ho's hand was there, steadying her gently. She smiled, a private smile, the kind that seemed to speak of familiarity. Every single camera shutter went into overdrive. Inside the show, the runway venue was dimly lit except for the glowing arch that framed the stage. The front row was a parade of A-listers, but all eyes, including those of fellow celebrities, kept drifting toward one pair. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo seated side by side. They leaned in close to speak between runway looks. At one moment, Lee Min-ho nodded toward a particularly bold dress, saying something that made Song Hye Kyo stifle a laugh behind her hand. In another, she adjusted the cuff of his sleeve without looking, as if she'd done it 100 times before. The brand's creative director reportedly whispered to a colleague, "They're stealing the show, and they're not even on the runway." Dinner by the Seine. If that had been the end, the internet would still have been set ablaze. But Paris had one more chapter to add. Later that night, just shy of midnight, a Paris-based paparazzo uploaded a blurry but unmistakable shot. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo exiting the famed riverside restaurant Le Jules Verne, located inside the Eiffel Tower. Gone were the formal runway outfits. He wore a simple charcoal sweater and dark jeans. She wore an oversized camel coat that looked suspiciously similar to one he had been photographed wearing 2 winters ago. No stylist, no assistants, just 2 people walking slowly along the Seine, the Eiffel Tower's golden lights reflected in the water. In one frame, Lee Min-ho is caught mid-motion draping his coat over her shoulders. In another, they are looking at his phone together, their faces inches apart, laughing at whatever was on the screen. Social media meltdown. Within minutes, hashtags exploded worldwide. Hashtag Lee Min-ho Song Hye Kyo in Paris. Hashtag City of Love Couple. Hashtag K-drama royalty. Fan edits began appearing almost instantly. Clips from The King, Eternal Monarch merged with Encounter, set against romantic French ballads. Others dug through past award show footage for moments when the two might have crossed paths, suggesting a slow burn connection years in the making. One viral post read, "If this is a project, I'll watch it. If this is love, I'll support it. If this is just dinner, I'm moving to Paris to eat there too." theories and insider whispers. Some fans speculated this was all part of a secret campaign for the fashion brand, but industry sources suggested otherwise. A well-connected stylist told an influencer blog, "I've dressed both of them. Neither makes a public move like this unless they're comfortable being seen together. This wasn't an accident. This was a choice." Another insider claimed that the seating chart for the fashion show had been altered just days before the event, placing Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo side by side. Whether the change was made by the brand or by their agencies, no one is saying. Agency silence. Requests for comment flooded in, but both stars' management teams remained tight-lipped. Not a denial. Not a confirmation. Just silence. And that silence, it's only making the fire burn hotter. Paris holds its breath. For now, Paris has moved on to the next runway, the next after-party. But for fans across the globe, that one day, the arrival, the walk, the front-row whispers, the dinner by the Seine, has become a kind of living drama. Was this friendship? A budding romance? The start of a dream on-screen pairing? Or was Paris Fashion Week 2025 the moment the world caught a glimpse of something real, unfiltered, and beautifully rare? Whatever the truth is, Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo didn't just attend Fashion Week. They turned it into a love story Paris will never forget. The leaked hotel lobby photo that changed everything. Just when the buzz from Paris Fashion Week was beginning to settle into the background noise of celebrity chatter, the internet jolted awake. It was early morning in Seoul, still dark in Paris, when the photo dropped. A single grainy image posted by a Parisian tabloid called Lumière Confidential. The caption was simple, almost lazy in its understatement. Two of Asia's brightest stars sharing a moment in Paris. The photo, however, was anything but simple. Inside the softly lit marble lobby of the Hotel Plaza Athénée, one of Paris's most luxurious addresses, stood Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo. They weren't posing. They weren't even looking at the camera. Instead, Lee Min-ho was leaning slightly forward, speaking to her with an expression so unguarded, so tender, it could have been a scene from a romance drama's final episode. Song Hye Kyo was smiling faintly, her hands tucked into the pockets of that same oversized camel coat from the dinner by the Seine sighting. Behind them, a concierge was discreetly looking away, the universal body language of, "I know I'm witnessing something private." The magazine frenzy. Within hours, the photo had made the front page of nearly every entertainment outlet in Asia. Dispatch Korea ran it under the headline, "Paris in Love?" Elle Taiwan simply wrote, "When Fashion Week becomes a love story." A French entertainment blog posted it with the playful caption, "Forget the runway. This is haute couture romance." But the most dramatic coverage came from Lumière Confidential, the very tabloid that leaked the image. They claimed, without revealing sources, that the two stars were staying on the same floor of the hotel, in suites separated by only one room. Fans turn into detectives. Theories began stacking up like a Jenga tower. Theory 1. The collaboration cover-up. Some fans insisted this was all part of a secret film or drama project that required them to keep appearances low-key, until the Paris trip blew it wide open. Theory 2. The rekindled friendship. Others dug up footage from the 2019 Baeksang Arts Awards, claiming they spotted subtle glances between the two, the seeds of something more planted years ago. Theory 3. The hidden romance. And then there were those who were convinced this was exactly what it looked like. Two single, wildly successful actors choosing to spend Paris Fashion Week together not for business, but for something far more personal. Agency statements. Or the lack thereof. By midday, journalists had flooded both agencies' inboxes with requests for comment. Lee Min-ho's camp responded with a single sentence. "We do not comment on our artists' personal schedules." Song Hye Kyo's agency mirrored the statement almost word for word. But for seasoned celebrity watchers, the absence of a flat-out denial was telling. In the world of high-profile relationships, silence is rarely accidental. The video leak that raised the stakes. As if the photo wasn't enough, by nightfall a short, shaky video clip began circulating on Weibo and Instagram stories. It appeared to have been taken from a distance, possibly by another hotel guest. In it, Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo are walking down the hallway toward the lobby exit. He has one hand in his pocket, the other gently resting on her back as they walk. She turns to say something and he laughs, that real, unguarded laugh fans have memorized from countless interviews. The clip ends just as they step into the waiting car. Paris reacts. By the next morning, Paris was a city divided. Fashion insiders were thrilled. The coupling of two of Asia's most iconic faces was bringing unprecedented global attention to the shows. Paparazzi were now camping outside the Hotel Plaza Athene. Restaurant owners along the Seine claimed to have heard where the pair might be dining next, hoping to lure the media frenzy to their doorstep. And in the midst of it all, Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo, silent, unmoved. The question that won't go away. Now, as the week draws to a close, the question lingers. Was Paris Fashion Week 2025 the accidental stage for a private romance, or the carefully chosen backdrop for a public reveal? Fans don't know when or if they'll get an answer. But they do know this. Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo have managed to make the most romantic city in the world even more romantic. And if this story touched you, subscribe and share it so we can keep his memory alive together. And until one of them speaks, the world will be watching and waiting.